Welcome to the SGS Let's Talk Sports. With me today, I have the amazing international scout by the name Olasubomi Balogun. He works presently with the Inter Lagos and as the head of the scouting unit, and also he works hand in hand with lots of international agents on helping the grassroots players develop and also get scouted. So kindly welcome with me, Mr. Olasubomi Balogun, as he joins us on air today. Welcome, Mr. Shibobi. You can kindly introduce yourself to the
Okay.
audience within a few minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Olasubomi Balogun, as earlier introduced. I'm the head of scouting in Lagos, and I've been into the football industry for the past, let's say, 15, 16 years. I'm quite young, but I started quite young also too. So thank you, SGS Sport, for recognizing my work.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And for the audience out there, a brief reason why we have Mr. Olashu Balogun, a very strong name. Is quite synonymous to a very strong late business mongoose name. When I saw the name, I was a bit, struck with the name, like, oh really, this young man goes by this name. And while searching for his introduction online, it keeps clashing with this very rich person's name and everything. The main reason why we brought him on air today, or to our program today, is to talk about scouting, also to make people understand, especially the grassroots players, to understand how they can be scouted, where they can be scouted, what to do, and also to inspire them on doing what they know to do best, because you don't know when you could be spotted by a scout. So that's why we have Mr. Olashubomi Balogun here today to discuss his journey as a scout with us, and also to enlighten us on how he goes about his scouting business, or gets to scout for people within and outside Lagos, Nigeria. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully to how and where and all his formulas of getting scouted. So to start with today, I would like to ask you, could you share with us the how you transitioned to becoming a scout and what motivated your career path? Because obviously, like you rightly said, you started pretty early, and then I believe you had other things in mind, like the Nigerian setting. Our parents wants us to go to the university to become either a doctor, a lawyer, or a techie person and stuff like that. So how did you start this your journey as a scout 16 years ago, and how has it been basically? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, fortunately for me, I come from a very strong family in terms of football. My dad is a strong football lover. My mom also too. So I started scouting very young. I remember when I was in junior secondary school, I was barely like 9 or 8, and I started recruiting players for the interclass competitions, and I did that for almost 3 years. And I can remember when I was in, I think GS3, the school coach then called me into his office to help him recruit best talents in the school for the then regional principal cup. And back then we got to the final. So since then, from like GS3 to SS3, I helped recruiting the best talents in the second school, and we won loads of trophies. So when I got into university, I did a lot of coaching. I was a departmental coach. I was the inter-level coach. And you know how coaching is. We used to do what we call the Champions League in university, and we usually simulate everything in professional football, from the recruitment to negotiation, because there was a lot of money involved back then. And everyone knew that if you want to win a Champions League, you need
I
to
think
make
there's
good
still a
money.
lot of money
So
now also,
yeah,
not just back
I made
then.
a lot of money back then. Yeah, I did. I did. Even I was basically self-sufficient, just with recruiting players and winning cups. Those cups
Wow.
that you pay to play in university. So I was really, really involved. When I finished school, I did my masters in computer science and information technology. Then I started working in the bank, Zenith Bank, but I was not fulfilled. I just wanted to go back into sports. Sent CVs and CVs to a lot of scouting agencies, a lot of football management agencies all around the world. So back then, I used to send like 20 CVs every day, like 20 applications every day.
Mm.
Back so fortunately for me, I got a job with Lake Sport Management, which is a UK-based sport management firm, and I was lead recruitment and I helped with player liaison also too. So that was my first full-time job into professional football.
Wow, that's a full um expo you gave us there. So you started pretty early from your secondary school, you transitioned into the university, and from there you started working in Zenit, but the joy of doing what you love wasn't really there, so you had to start looking for a job, and you sent out 20 CVs per day,
Every
globally and
every day.
locally, and eventually one came knocking and responding to you. So out there, if you're there and you think you want to be a scout, or you want to also go into the sporting profession, don't give up. At least you've heard something now, and you've heard from someone now that is that transition from whatever he used to do to what he is now. So do not give up your dreams and all that. So the next question would basically be about the lake sports, the lake sports you joined basically. What was your involvement like with the lake sports then? Because I know from your from what I read about you, the lake sports used to organize festivals then, like a sporting festival also. So what was your involvement with lake sports festival, then, and how has this platform contributed to the discovery of talent, like talented players in Nigeria and outside the country then? And how did this impact the grassroots basically? So that's three in one question. One, what was your involvement with Lake Sport Festival? Two would be, how did the platform contribute to discovery of talented players, and what was the impact? What impact does it have on developing the grassroots football? Because one of the basic things about us is we're pretty concerned and also very interested in the grassroots sport here. And most of the things we do is to look into that sector, because that's the untapped sector. That's the people out there are rarely spoken about. They rarely get the attention they deserve, and that's where I think, or we think, the future lies. Basically for any sport and every sport in the country. So kindly help us shed light into that, please. You can.
Oh, okay, fantastic. For Lake Sports Festival, I can remember having a meeting with the founder of Lake Sport Management 2017. And that was, I think, my final stage of the interview. And it was like, delivered Lake Sports Festival, and you have a full time role with Lake Sport Management. So, what Lake Sports Festival was all about then was it's a secondary school competition where the best schools in Oyo State came together. I think up to 20 schools then, participating in different sports: football, basketball, volleyball, athletics, even chess, and they compete for a trophy and a prize. So and it was a very huge success, and that landed me the role with export management, and we did that for 2 years. Then in the third year, the founder was just thinking that we need a more sustainable program, a program that will be able to monitor these athletes even after discovering them week in week out. So we started what we call the Leg Schools League, which I led the project. What Schools League is, it's a league of the best secondary schools in different states. For example, we had the Lagos Conference, the Ibadan Conference, the Abeokuta Conference, and the Ife Conference. What they do is they play against themselves across the academic calendar, home and away. So we were able to identify a lot of talent from monitoring these players week in, week out, advising them, advising the teachers on how they can improve these players, giving this because what we try to do at Lake Sports Management is sport and education, which is something that is not popular in Nigeria because back then there used to be the principal cup, the shell cup, but these things don't happen again. And averagely, for in Nigeria, for in these academies, for players to start going to academies, they're already 16, which is already too late. The most important year of development of an athlete or a footballer is between 12 and 15. And if you miss that education, it's almost impossible for you actually to go pro.
So that's what we try to do: give them that both infield and out of field education from the age of 12 to, let's say, 16. And we're able to discover a lot of talent. One of them is called Moyosoro Nikoyi, who is one of the best talents in Nigeria as we speak. He's currently at Escola United and should be going to this Verigo under 19th competition in Italy, which I'm sure will get signed by the club. We were able to discover a player called Raphael Olatubosun, who represented Nigeria at the 17th level, currently with Sporting Lagos. We were able to identify a player called Ismail, who is with the Aspire Academy, and also too, he's got signed this winter window by Spanish club. He should be moving in the next few weeks, and some
Wow.
couple of players who are with the Bayern Academy. It's one of the biggest initiatives in Nigeria, and I would advise any school or anyone, if it's an initiative that the government needs to support, because playing across the academic calendar, home and away, is nothing in Nigeria. That's the only platform that will do it in Nigeria. So we have been able to both educate the students, educate the parents, educate the administrators of the school, show them how it is done outside Nigeria, and it's something that it's going to get bigger every year.
Wow, that's an expose you just gave there, and I'm pretty impressed by the depth of work that you guys have done and that you're still doing. So this leads to the next question, basically, because you've shed light into the success story of what you guys are doing and what you've done with Lake Sport, basically. But the next stage is developing grassroots sports in Nigeria. In your opinion, what does it take to effectively develop the grassroots sports in Nigeria? Are there specific initiative or strategies you believe are crucial for nurturing young talent? Like you highlighted, not quite long, you said mixing education and with sports gives you more results, and within a certain age range, if you miss that window, it will be a bit difficult to go pro. So what are your initiatives if you're to sit down with the minister of sport now, and you're advising him on how to develop the grassroots sports, what would you tell him?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
welcome.
ahead and with the sport minister of sports. So it's a huge topic that I'll just try to summarize as much as possible. Um, so firstly, one thing we really need to do is we need more pitches, we need more stadiums in Nigeria. We need a lot of sport ground. For me, every local government in Nigeria should have at least one facility where people can go and play, and to help in discovery of talent a lot, and even curb criminals and a lot of things. And number two, we need more competitions, more cups. We need more leagues, and so these players that are being identified can play as much as possible. Outside Nigeria, before you go pro, you play up to more than 1,000 games, which and helps you master your craft. For Nigeria, it's very hard for academies to play that much games in a year. And an average academy in UK plays 50 games in a year. It's hard for you to see an academy in Nigeria that plays up to 54 games in a year, and those things help players master their craft. So we need both the private sector and the government. We need more leagues, more clubs. These players need to play more, and also to why we need to improve the coaching education in Nigeria. If you go to check the English FA website, you see there are a lot of courses that coaches can take to improve themselves for free. But it's hard for you to see that with the NFF and or with the Nigerian Football Association's website. They are doing well, but I feel if they can help these coaches with more courses, because these coaches you cannot give what you don't have, and it's hard and it's very expensive for them. They cannot really afford paying for the CAF licenses, the UEFA licenses, and all those things. So if the NFF can create free courses for them to improve themselves, it would actually help. And also, I feel with talent and education also, I think we need to improve that also too, because in Nigeria, yeah, if you see someone that can dribble, we automatically think he's the best player. He has all the talent. But talent in five facets. That is the physical, the technical, the tactical, psychological, and social. And all those aspects, a player needs to be at least average in those aspects. You cannot be physically tall and not be technically good. You cannot be technically good and do not have a good mentality. You so all those things they marry themselves. So we need to educate administrators, coaches on those facets of talent identification. So because Nigeria is an exporting country, we develop talent to sell, and a lot of this, that's why you see a lot of academy retain a lot of players because they have gone wrong identifying these talents. So if you can have the talent, I believe the grassroots football would even grow further. So those are things I think we can just improve on over here, and I think the grassroots football will go to the next level.
Okay, let me just run through them. Number one is to have more competition. Number two is
Yes,
to have coaching education.
yes,
Because recently I had an interview with Coach Ayere. He's a Nigerian coaching in the UAE, and he said the last time there's a CAF that we had a CAF course in Nigeria was 2017, which and he said the player is as good as the coach. If you are not educating the coach, the players would not have that technical knowledge also. It is what the coach knows or the new technicalities he has imbibed into himself, he will teach the players. Because he was discussing about, when, some Nigerians come to UAE, maybe his club, for scouting stuff and everything, and they are there for trial. He sees them, like he rightly said, they know how to dribble and everything, but they don't know how to do the off the walk, off the ball technicalities. They know nothing about it, and he wouldn't blame them because they weren't taught to understand those technicalities. So you're saying more competition, more sporting facilities, more coaching certification courses at a subsidized rate for Nigerian coaches, so they can easily, learn more and get more exposure to the modern day football technicalities, and from there, and we need more investors in the sporting sector in Nigeria, especially the football sector, to help, nurture the grassroots players, which is one of the things you're also soliciting for on this platform. So now we'll be moving to Inter Lagos. We know you work with that amazing club. At the moment, you're the chief scout of Inter Lagos, and we've seen the wonderful work you're doing in the NNL, and we've seen how your team has been a bit dynamic in their doings, and they've been doing a whole lot of things. So can you tell us about this role in the club, and how have you integrated grassroots footballers into Inter Lagos basically? So, and how has the experience of NNLB been thus far? We know we know the story of NNL. I wouldn't want to dabble into that at the moment. So how has it been? How is Inter Lagos going? How is integrating grassroots players into that place been? Because I know you've mentioned a couple of numbers of players you've discovered through Lake Sports, and I still believe you still work with them sort of because their tournaments are still running basically. So do you get talent from the pool of grassroots players you discover in Lake Sport and take them to Inter Lagos, or how do you do it basically? So people out there can know maybe I need to go and do more so I can get scouted from and join Inter Lagos. So just enlighten us about your role there, how Inter Lagos has been, and how you've been integrating grassroots.
I've been blessed so much to work with Inter Lagos because we are one of the in Nigeria that believe in the youth. We believe in young players. We believe in because for us, age is just a number. It's the quality of the player that matters. I'm the chief scout of Inter Lagos, and I've been able to scout players first division to the fourth division, and MPL, one and two, and also grassroots divisions like the TCCs, the private leagues like TCCs, Abuja, Abuja League, Abuja Elite League. So we scout all across the country. And for us, if you want to get, if you, that I can guarantee you. The league has been tough but beautiful because we started losing 3 games on a row, but we have a very experienced coach in the system. I call him a genius. And in the last 3 games, we have undefeated, winning two and drawing one. So the experience in the league has been really good, and we have been doing an amazing stuff. And young players are we have 16 years old, 17 years old players are playing league. No, I've not been to the Tech Schools League has a pathway where once you get discovered by the league, you go into their club called Escola United. So it's and from Escola you can travel overseas straight away. But I would advise anyone to still go to Let's Schools League. You get discovered. But if you want to get discovered by Inter Lagos, just play. Just make sure you are playing consistently in Lagos. We'll find you.
Oh, that's amazing. That means you have your eye all around Lagos then.
Yeah, yeah, I do. Not all around Lagos, all around Nigeria.
All around Nigeria. Wow, that's amazing. So for you out
Yeah.
there that you want to be scouted, please stop sending us messages now. This is the man you should be sending message to. I'm a player. Every day when we open the DM and we see lots of messages. I'm a footballer. Please take me in. I'm the next big thing. And I'm like, you're not even showing us something that you're a footballer. I go to your social media page. There's nothing going on there telling me that you're a footballer or something to showcase yourself as a footballer. But anyway, this is the person to go to.
That
That amazing talent in Oshogo that is sending us message. The one in Enugu that is sending us message and everything. He has his eyes all around Nigeria. So this is Mr. Olasubomi Balogun. In case you want to be scouted. So the next question is this: what are the ongoing projects you're currently involved in pertaining scouting? Let's take, for
okay.
instance, now somebody in Inewi now wants to get scouted. You said he should play, but he has been playing for the past 10 years and he hasn't been seen. So, how do you get to scout those players?
Okay. All around the country, I have intern scouts. At least in four zones or 5 zones in the country, I have intern scouts, and we do a lot of video scouting. Because most of these games that have been, fortunately now, a lot of games have been live streamed, so we have luxury of games to watch. We watch over, I think, 16 tournaments in Nigeria, identifying players. Also, too, we do a lot of physical scouting. Also, too, if there's a competition that is going on, we send scouts to this competition to go and watch. You might not know they are there, but they are playing every major tournament. And I advise anyone that, if you know there's a competition you guys are playing that we probably do not know around, please send me a DM. I would send, if I cannot go there physically, I will surely send an intern to go and watch your league or your cup, and we can take things to the next step if you actually find a very good or promising talent.
Perfect then. So you that are in Kwara State, you that are in Akwa Ibom, don't lose hope. Don't think you can't be scouted easily. Give in your best to everything you do, and you can be called upon at any time. So the next question is this has to do with reward and challenges of scouting. Because like you rightly said,
Okay.
scouting comes with a whole lot of money as it stands. So what are the challenges
That's
you
true.
faced as a scout, and what has been the reward thus far?
Challenges. It's being a top scout is you have to do a lot of work. Up to 3-4 games every day. That's like, let's say, 8 hours. And
Wow.
apart from watching those games, you do analysis, you do your scouting reports, and most of the time,
Hmm.
eight times you don't find the talent you're looking for. So just imagine you going like 6-7 hours in a day, basically just looking at people that you are probably not going to sign. So it's I love the job, so it's not stressful to me. But for upcoming scouts, you need to be hardworking. Um, you can watch 6 games today, and you might not see anybody, but that doesn't mean tomorrow you should not go again. So and also too, when there are some players you watch them, they look good. When they come physically for trials, they just there's stage fright. There's this they don't perform.
True.
So that's one of the challenges. So it's that's why um what we do is for us to invite the player over. We after we watch you video, we watch you physical and make sure that you are still the same guy we saw in the videos. So in terms of the reward, scouting is very rewarding. I will lie to you because as a lead, I've been in this industry for some time, and it has been financially rewarding because I've worked with a lot of top agents. I've seen the financial rewards on a lot of deals. So that's the reward, and also not even apart from the money, the joy of you scouting someone in a village and the next 2 3 years is on a global stage. It's really good. Honestly, it's a very very good feeling, and I think that's even the biggest feeling for a scout. So that's what really really pushes me to always look for players, to always find the next biggest thing, and um, and in terms of projects, the projects I'm working on currently, I'm working on Inter Lagos. The goal is to promote into the MPFL, to play continental competitions. To go nationally, my goal is to become a sporting director in the biggest clubs in the world. Let's say the Man U, the Liverpools. I have the ambitions to get to that level, and I know one day I will get to that level. So that's like the future ambition I have personally.
That's massive. But anyway, going forward to the next question, what's your advice to the upcoming players out there? Like, that guy you said you saw in the village. There are other guys in villages and different parts of Nigeria that are striving to, be scouted. I remember like in 6 or 7 years ago when myself and Mr. Drew Lee came to Nigeria for a scouting program, and the pool of people that trooped out for a scouting program alone, I was amazed. They needed just maybe four players, and you have over 300, 400 players coming in for just one scouting event. So, I was appalled. Like, so people really have this desire and zeal inside of them to come all this way, for this scouting program. Some travel 4 5 hours down to that place to get scouted. So, what's your advice to that upcoming player out there that that is striving or that wants to be the next big thing in Nigeria? Because we understand that, and that's why we have this platform. Because you barely see us platform, big players or so. It's not like we don't interview them and all that, but we want to give our platform to those young players that we know that are hungry out there that are not yet seen, the upcoming Osimhen and the like. So, what's your advice to them, basically?
It might sound cliche, but hard work is the first advice. You need to just keep working hard. You need to be obsessed with improving yourself. You need to always show yourself, showcase yourself. Now this is a social media world. If you're a footballer, I can't be going through your page and not see your highlights. I can't be going through your page and not know that you are a footballer. Because as much as good as you are, people need to know that you are doing these things. And also too, if you're a upcoming footballer, you should not be drinking, you should not be smoking, you should be having a quality 8 hours sleep every night. You should be taking care of your health. You should, because your body is your workshop. That's where you make money from. So you should be taking care of yourself as much as possible. You should always try to invest in yourself. Because most teams in Nigeria do not have gym. Invest in yourself. Register in a gym. Make sure you are fit. Make sure you go on YouTube. Learn if you are a defender. Learn everything you can as a defender. If you are go on Google, learn. Just always invest in yourself and be obsessed with improving yourself and put yourself out there. Because and each time you go to the training, each time you go to play, give your maximum, give your 100. Because the way you train is the way you play, and you don't know who is watching at any single time. So you need to give your 100 every single day, and just be obsessed with improving yourself. I think once you can do that, you surely get to the top.
Wow. Thank you very much for your advice and for your time. We really appreciate it. And before you go, there's something we need to ask. And that is about
Okay.
AFCON.
Oh, nice.
As we approach AFCON tournament now, what are your predictions for Nigeria's performance, considering the
Okay.
talent pool
Ah, well,
available and the state of Nigerian football at the moment? So, how far do you think Nigeria will go in this tournament? Who do you think will be the key player
okay.
that will make us win this tournament? And who do you think will be the key player that may not make us win this tournament, including the coaching
Okay.
crew and everybody? Because it's a team thing.
Okay. Okay. This is a sub question anyway.
Honest
Uh,
opinion. Don't garnish it
I'll try to be as
with
honest as
I'm
I can.
Nigerian and everything. Let's be honest here.
Basically, I honestly feel we have the best player in Africa at this moment, which is Osimhen. And one thing about this kind of players is when this kind of competition comes up, they stand up. And I believe this is a competition that Osimhen would lift African Nations Cup for us. He's at the right age and the right frame in mind. We have a very very good attack. We have a good midfield, and the defense is not bad, honestly. So it's just once the coaching crew can get everything right with the selection and everything, I think we have a very good chance to win the tournament. And we need the support of everyone, both the media, both the fans. We need the support of everyone to win this competition because these players they check this media, and if there's too much backlash mentally, it affects these players where they are. So they need as much support as we can give them, and I feel we can win this tournament. All things being equal, it will not be easy, but we have the potentials to win it.
Mr. Olasubomi Balogun, thank you for your wonderful diplomatic answer. We really
Thank you
appreciate
very
your
much.
time. For those that are asking how to get in touch with him, we're going to attach his social media handles to this post. Trouble him, send him messages. He's always ready for you. He has a lot of scouts under that he works with
Also,
anyway. Okay.
before you go up, I'm having this internship program. So if
Okay.
anyone is interested, looking into sports or into scouting, feel free to send me them and we can take things forward. If you want to be a student, graduate, if you're looking for a pathway into sports, please message me.
Okay, so like you said, if you're out there, you want to intern with him, you can send him a message. Intern in different aspects of sports, send him a message. So we just created employment now. Send him messages. Thank you very much for your time. We understand you are very busy. We'll get back to you. We know we still have a lot of discussion behind this thing to talk about. Thank you so much and have a
Thank you very
wonderful
much.
day.